Welcome to Let Us Farm page. My name is Emily Fonwell Oge of Let Us Farm. So today we want to learn about eating of fish tails. That is what eats up the fish tail in your pond. You may have seen this in your pond, and then people may have told you that it's fungal infection. People may have told you that it is bacterial infection. You may have seen it. The tails, you just notice that your fishes, the tails are being eaten up. So somebody may have told you a lot of things about it. So that's what we want to learn, because many people always show me this, and we try to discuss this, but some people still don't get it. So we'll be dwelling on that today so that we know why this happens and a solution to this. So in case you are seeing me for the first time, this is Let Us Farm page. And all we do here is we try to provide practical solutions to all our agri problems. So if anyone contacts you that you send your number to them, that Let Us Farm is forming a WhatsApp group, please, we are not. We are not forming any WhatsApp group. We are not forming any Telegram group. We are not doing any of such. So if I have anything to discuss, I will always come here and discuss it so that every one of us can hear and benefit from it. So all we do here is, if you are having any issue in your farm, simply do a 2 to 3 minute video and send it to me. So explaining to me what's this problem. And if you are doing this video, please do it when you are feeding your fishes. So this will help me to see the activities of the fish when you are feeding them. So send it to me and I look at it and I will tell you exactly what is the problem and solution to this problem. Remember, this we are doing for free. So if you have any other issues, kindly use the comment section and I will respond to that. So like I said, today we shall be looking at what eats up our details of our fishes. And I'll be right back to discuss this.
You see how the body is doing?
Welcome back. So in different forums that I've seen people actually having concerns about their fish tails being eaten. But in these forums, I discovered that some people, I don't know whether it's out of ignorance or they just want to make money out of people, recommend some bogus things to use and treat this. Some go to the point of telling you to buy this drug, and every stuff. The problem I have is that when you do some of these things, they don't work. And when they don't work, when you go back to complain, they still try to make you believe that you are the one who did not use these drugs very well, and make you spend more money on buying other different drugs without solution. Now, some people have actually said that this is fungal infection. Okay. Let me explain something. When you see this type of situations in your pond, it is not a fungal infection. It is not a bacterial infection. It is not an infection. No, it is act of cannibalism. It is an act of cannibalism. When you just see the tail of the fish, looks like it's eating. Sometimes it look like maybe the flesh on that tail just pulled out or anything like that. It's not any infection. It's an act of cannibalism. But now this is where the logic is. This act can now lead to infection. How will it lead to infection? When the flesh is open and the water has any contaminating element, because the flesh of this flesh or the skin of the fish covers is the outer layer of the fish. So it actually protects anything from gaining access into the body of the fish. It's just like a human skin, which protects things from gaining access to inside your body. So when it is not exposed and there is infection in this water, slight infection that ordinarily will not affect the fish, but because the skin is not exposed, it will now absorb the bacteria in the water and now cause infection to the fish. So in other words, what you are seeing at the outside, it is not a bacterial infection. It is not a fungal infection. but then it can now lead to the infection. So this is where the trick comes. If you now go and treat the infection, leaving the cause of what will lead to infection, you now see that you are practically wasting your time. Because what happens is that when you treat, the medicine or whatever you use in the treating will go to safeguard the innermost part of the fish, but will not prevent that from still occurring. So if the fishes have started eating the tail of one, because fishes are very, very aggressive, they are carnivorous in nature. So if they start eating it and you are treating that fish, they will end up finishing the fish. Then some people will now say, okay, since it's like that, that the best thing is to remove the fish. Yes, the immediate job you will do is to remove it to prevent others from eating it. But that doesn't stop there. When you now remove it, treat it, and it's not okay. If you return it back to the pond, there is every possibility that they will still eat it again. They may not eat that particular one immediately. They may face another one, but later come back to this particular one that has this issue. And this is why it happens. Most of the times, this thing happens because you overstocked your pond. When the number of fishes that are supposed to be in the pond are more than what they are supposed to be, it makes the fishes always run into each other. And by the time they keep running into each other, if there is a slight dent of wound, injury on their body, because of this, their instinct of being carnivorous in nature, they will just pounce on that particular one and start eating the fish. So once this situation happens, that particular fish, because it's weak and cannot fend itself against others, and they start eating it, it becomes weak and they will finish that fish. So once situations happen like this, the best thing you try to do is to create an enabling pond environment for them. Create space. In some situations, it may not be space problem. It could be that inside your pond there is something that injured one fish and the fish becomes a target. But in most situations, it's as a result of spacing in the pond. But like I said, there are isolated issues that you get your pond stocking very okay. But there could be something inside your pond that you overlooked. That thing, especially on earthen pond, the thing gives them injury. On concrete pond, it could be something that somebody threw inside your pond. It gives an injury, a very slight injury. So when you did not feed your fishes on time, and they are hungry, moving up and down, looking for food. You know that sometimes when you get to your pond, if you stay far and watch your pond, you discover that the water is just moving like this. Sometimes when you see that water moving like that, a particular fish is a target. They are just targeting one. So that movement is what you are just seeing. They are just targeting one. So once this happens, the first thing you do is to use a sieve or something and remove that particular one that is already weak. Because if you don't remove it, there is every possibility they will eat it. Remove it and put aside. Treat that one, leave it for some time before returning back to the pond. But then again, if your pond spacing is not correct, try and look for alternative to space out the pond. Once you space out the pond and you give them feed as at when due, and they eat very well, it is very difficult for fish that eat very well to eat another fish. You can do the experiment yourself. You discover that once you feed the fishes to satisfaction, one, they have very slow digestive system. So meaning that when you feed them very well, they will now relax and wait for that food to digest, which sometimes takes between 6-7 hours for the food to completely digest. Before that time is completely digest, they will now start picking up activity to start moving up and down. You feed them again. As you feed them again, they will now relax. By the time that one digests, they now sleep and now wake up again. They are now trying to meet another food. You see that there is no time for them to go and start looking for what is not what for them. So they only have leisure time to play. But the situation that you don't feed them very well and they are tight in the pond, what happens is that immediately you give them food, within some very few hours, the feeding digests. And once the feeding digests, they are now playing because they are hungry. So they are moving up and down, looking for who is a target. Once they spot one that is a target, all of them will pounce on that. They will use that one as food. So that is what normally happens. But because you may not know, you now go and be treating, yes, you are treating the bacterial infection, good. But if you are treating the bacterial infection and fail to solve the problem of spacing in the pond, this particular scenario will keep happening. But if it is where it's just a one-off thing that you have your normal pond spacing very correct, and you, because some people will just say yes, they are sure they have the normal. When you now try to get to find out what is the situation, it's because they don't have the normal pond spacing. So if you see it and you have available pond, just split your number immediately. Don't even start arguing with yourself. Split it so that you run away from that thing from reoccurring. Then, like I said, increase the feeding that you are giving them, because if they feed very well, they will not even have time to go and eat one. But if they don't feed very well, one must always be a scapegoat. That is the way they are. You see, fishes are they are cannibals. They are carnivorous in nature, so they eat practically anything they see. And once they are hungry, they don't mind eating their best friend inside the pond. So that's how this thing happens. So I'm doing this for you to understand that some of these things are not always that you keep looking for medications. Medications don't solve this kind of situations. What solves it is for you to understand what actually is causing the problem, nip the problem in the bud, then now apply medications so that the ones that are injured will not have infection. So I hope I've been able to explain this very well. If there is something I said now that you don't get, or if you have any questions that you don't still understand, kindly use the comment section. And if you're having issues with your fishes, just do a 2 to 3 minutes video and send it to me. Like I said, always try and do these videos when you are feeding, so that I'll be able to see the reactions of your fishes as you are feeding. Do the video and send to me, and when I look at this video, I'll be able to provide you a practical solution to solving that problem. And until I come your way next time, my name is Emily Fonwell Oge of Let Us Farm. Keep farming is a way of life.
Hey, y'all, come look at this.